guys, it is Eleni here, and Rocky, and you may be wondering why my dog is in this, and the answer to that is because I want him to be. So this is on my adaptation of the Rye, and I'm just gonna say the question, and I'm going to answer it back. So the first one is, what about Salinger's presentation of this material spoke to you? So, why I chose my scene. I chose the scene mainly because of Allie, his brother who died of leukemia. I really thought it was kind of a curveball in the book sort of thing. It was, you knew he had a past, but you didn't exactly know where, and it was pretty much the first real time he talked about him. So I liked that and how I could incorporate that into my own movie sort of thing, or book, if I decided to be. Book. We already made a book. But I liked it because you could tell that Allie still had a strong effect on him as a person and who he is today. So that's why I chose it. I think when you lose someone, it does stick to you, and I liked how in this book it did stick with him, and I would love to see that in a movie and how it would play out, and I think I did a pretty good job of writing it and how I would like to see it. Next question, why adapt this section than any other? Okay, so I kind of touched on that, but originally I was planning on doing, it was like chapter 7, 8, or 9, I can't exactly remember which, when Holden's on the train and meets up with a former classmate's mother. I was originally planning on doing that because that part underlies probably some more of his problems, because he had so many chances to do so many different things with that mother, and the way he went about that situation definitely is one of the reasons why I originally was going to do it. But I did plan on going with the Allie scene because of how it really affects Holden as a whole in the beginning of the movie. I mean, at the end of the movie, and you kind of see that throughout the book. So that is why I chose that. Next question, what elements from the work did you retain? I kept a lot of the book. That's just a personal thing. I did change some things, how I would like to see it. How one thing goes to another. I would move something from the bottom to the top of the movie. And I did that because most book to movies aren't always that good. I mean, I've seen a couple good movies that were almost as good as the book, but I wanted to try and keep the book as close to the movie, so I really tried to keep it as close to home as I could. I mean, some things I just took right out from the book because I liked how it sounded, and I like how Holden would talk about it, or how each word would kind of represent the character's personality. So I really did keep that as close as I could, but I did put my own spin on it in my own kind of weird writing, kind of depressed way. Next is, what change or omissions did I make? So I pretty much just answered that. I did both. I did add a couple things. Some things a little bit on the weirder side. Not exactly weird, but like an imaginative, like subconscious kind of way. I did add into it. I did keep, once again, a lot of the book. I kept the general idea, but more so than the general idea, not just the general idea. I did want to keep it as close to the book as possible because the book is great. So, next, how feasible do you think it would be to produce and feature a length adaptation? So I know there's been talk about this book being made into a movie and how he never wanted to make it into a movie. But if you were to make it into a movie, I think it would be a little difficult because of when reading, you can kind of form, you see all these different hints, and you can really like tell because you're in his mind pretty much. So if you were to make a movie, I think it would be a challenge, but definitely possible because depends on the way you would film it. But I think it would be a big challenge because of the way you really get this book through his eyes, and if you don't see it through his eyes, you don't see his train of thought, you don't read it, then I think it will be difficult. But I mean, I made this and it was totally feasible and I could see it playing out through my head. So it's definitely an option. And yeah, that is it. That's my adaptation. I hope you enjoy it. I was a little bumpy at times, but I had fun writing it. And me and him are gone. Have a nice day. Thanks.